Hi everyone, so this is just a quick and easy little story time video about when my mom caught me sexting, except I'm gonna say right now she didn't actually catch me sexting. I'm just gonna think of a better title for this video, so I'm sorry, it's kind of clickbait but also not, because she genuinely believed that she caught me sexting. You'll see what I'm talking about. I actually got inspiration from this video due to my friend Rebecca, which you may remember her from my video about curling my hair for my first time. She was the entire motivation behind that whole glorious video that should have been so much better than it was, except I am chronically like a failure. That's just... So yeah, Rebecca, I know you didn't mean to like make me think of this, but that's just the beautiful thing about you, Rebecca. You give me lots of motivation and inspiration, girl. And yeah, she just sent me a random message that has nothing to do with this topic, and for some reason, with my weird brain, I looked at my phone and I was like, I could make a video. And here it is. This is the beautiful story of cell phones, flip phones, 2007-ish. Flesh wounds on your hand. And yeah, if any of that sounds appealing to you, then keep watching and we'll just go ahead and get started. So the main characters in this story is going to be myself and my phone and my mom. You might not have guessed that from the title of this video, but that's the fun part. My mom, I told this story at Christmas a couple of years ago, and the entire time my mom was just avidly denying that this ever happened, saying, no, this never happened. And you know what? Okay, we'll be fair. Mom, you can claim this never happened, and I will claim this did happen, and that means in the middle, it's all hypothetical. So it's left for you to decide if it's real or not. And I will also say, Mom, if you happen to watch this video, if this is all in fun, I'm not making fun of you. If anything, I'm just making fun of the situation. I feel like everyone, I can't speak for guys because I was never a teenage guy, but I feel like every teenage girl, at least all the ones I knew, they went through some sort of phase where this became a problem with them and their parents. So you're not being like ousted for this. This is just totally normal and it's a funny story. So you know what? Let's have fun. Love ya. So I want to say I was about 15 years old when this happened, maybe 14. I was a little bit young, but when I was in that age range, this phenomenon occurred where I feel like my mom just woke up one morning and just decided, I think Claudia is sexting. For about 6 months to a year of my life, it was just constant like accusations of like, what are you doing online? What are you doing on the computer? Who are you talking to? All of that kind of stuff. I remember there was one time I was watching this show called Mr. Show. That's literally what it was called. Mr. Show is a skit show that aired on HBO in the 90s, and there were a lot of big people in it. Jack Black, Bob Odenkirk, David Cross, Sarah Silverman, all of these funny people. That's what you need to know for this story. And Bob Odenkirk played this character where he would have like a fake beard and a fake bald head. I was watching Mr. Show on my laptop when I was about 14, and I remember I just paused it because it got really late and I was tired, so I paused it. I closed my laptop so I could finish watching it the next day, and my mom woke up at about 6 a.m. and before she started getting ready for work, she decided to open my laptop and I guess just kind of like look at what I was up to, and she just sees this video pause with Bob Odenkirk sitting at a desk like, and he's got like a bald head on and like a fake beard, and he's just like, he's in the process of yelling, so he's sitting at a desk and he's like I'll never forget, my mom screamed, and I happened to be awake at that point. I don't remember if I was getting water or what, and she screamed, and I run in the room. I'm like, what's wrong? And she goes, are you talking to Mid? There's a man. She goes, are you talking to Mid? There's a man on your computer. What is this? Yeah, it took me about 5 minutes to convince my mom that it was in fact Mr. Show with Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, and it was not some random guy I was webcamming with, and he could not see her, so she was okay. There are plenty of instances of stuff like that happening, but this one in particular is what we're gonna talk about today, and I need to get started telling you the story. So, as you may or may not know, I have a pretty substantial scar on my ring finger. It's literally my ring finger, and I'll show you a better video with a close-up of it. But this is also going to detail how I got that scar. And I'm making my mom sound so violent right now. She did not give me that scar as punishment for sexting. It's not where this video is going. So if that's what you're expecting and that's what get your juices flowing, just click out now, because no. My brother liked to collect swords. He went through a phase. I don't know if he's still into that. I don't think so. But he liked to collect swords, specifically like Japanese, Asian swords. And yeah, he had a pretty, I would say pretty impressive collection in his room. One day he had a friend over and they were playing video games in his bedroom, and I was also in the bedroom hanging out because I kind of got along with his friend, and we were all just hanging out, you know, we were all chatting, talking, cracking jokes, and I mean, guys, I was 14. I don't really have anything else to say about this, but I decided to check out his sword. So I picked this sword up. I'm just lounging on this little like love seat that he had in his bedroom, and I pull this sword out and I'm just admiring the blade, and I'm like, that's a nice sword. So I start to sheath the sword, just, you know, slide it back in when my finger slipped, and that's how I ended up with Miss Beautiful Scar. When my finger slipped on the blade, the first thing I remember was blood. Lots of blood. You'd be amazed at how you don't really feel anything in moments like that. Like, you'd be expecting to have this like throbbing, stabbing, burning pain when you just sliced your finger off, basically. But that didn't happen. I just remember lots of blood, and I remember being like, ah, shit. So I jump up, I clean out my finger. I don't think I got any help from my brother's friend, but that's fine. I mean, they don't need to feel obligated to get mixed in with my blood. And I clean it out. I go into my dad's bathroom where we kept all of the first aid stuff. I bandage it shut, which honestly, I think I probably should have gotten it stitched because yeah. And I move along with my day. Later that evening, I was admiring my opened wound because I don't know if you knew this about me, but like I have this weird fixation with wounds, but like only on myself. Like, I don't hurt myself. I don't give myself wounds on purpose. But if I happen to receive one accidentally, I just get so amazed by it. And Rebecca actually kind of inspired this because she's the opposite of me. She does not like wounds on herself. Nope. She don't want to see her own blood. Nope. And I admire that because that is an instinct for survival. Like, it really is. But me, Miss, you know, opposite, like, what the hell is going on? I was just sitting on the couch and I was like, so I'm looking at my open wound, and I had an old flip phone at the time, and I just think, you know what? How often do you just slice your finger open where there's like this gaping hole in it? I'm gonna take a picture of this for memory. Like, what did I think I was gonna do with that picture? Show it to my grandkids someday? So anyway, I take this picture on my flip phone and I just leave it on the table and I move on with my day because, I mean, you know, it was a flip phone. I didn't really carry it around with me everywhere, and I never went anywhere except for the kitchen. At some point that evening, my mom, you know, Miss Sneaky Peeky, Miss Lady that likes to open up my laptop and see what I'm up to and read my Word documents and, you know, go through my pictures to make sure I don't have anything inappropriate. She opens my flip phone, and this is going to be paraphrasing because you may or may not know Claudia is not my real name. So we're gonna pretend that Claudia is my real name. I'm in the other room and I just hear, Claudia! And I'm like, oh. I walk into the living room where she is sitting on the couch with my flip phone open, and I'm like, what on earth could she actually be angry about? Like, what is going on? I mean, I don't know if you also knew this, but I didn't really have many friends, so it wasn't like I was having weird texting inappropriate conversations. But she's looking at my flip phone and she goes, do you have a boyfriend? And I go, no. Men are gross. Why would I do that? And she goes, then why is there a penis on your phone? I'm like, what the hell is what is she talking about? So I walk over and I look over her shoulder at the phone, and I see, like, just big zoomed in, she has pulled up the picture of my finger with the open wound, and she is mistaking it for a man's. I mean, I will show you the picture right here because I did some digging and I found it. And if you don't like wounds, then look away. This is not gory. There's no blood. It's been clean at this point, but look away if you don't like wounds. But yeah, there's the picture. So yeah. All right, look back over here because the picture is gone. So if you didn't want to see that, basically it was like my finger, and then I had how do I even do this? It was basically like my finger that I cut open, and then I had 2 other fingers on the side, which I guess you could mistake for like legs, but like, I mean, Mom, what kind of penises have you been looking at? So yeah, that took a little bit to convince her that it wasn't a picture of a random man's penis, and it was actually the open wound that I was still sporting on my finger because it had just happened earlier that day. I had so much fun laughing about that later. Just so much fun. So much fun. So yeah, that is the quick and easy story about when my mom caught me sexting, except she didn't really catch me sexting because that wasn't a sext, Mom. That was a finger with a wound. Just for the record, I am 27 years old now, and I can say I have never sexted. That is not a necessity you need in your life. And if you don't know what sexting is, don't look it up, but it's basically texting, but with sex. And I do not recommend that. And for anyone that is younger than me that may be watching this, all I have to say is if you are with a guy or a girl and they are pressuring you to send them inappropriate pictures in a text message, you have the right to say no. And if someone has enough respect for you, they will respect that decision. It is not a safe thing to do. Whatever happens if that picture ends up in the wrong hands, whether it is like a friend of the person that you're corresponding with, or if you ever break up with that person and they decide that they want to get some revenge and use a picture against you, just don't do it. You don't have to do it to have a substantial relationship with someone. You really don't. So yeah, this has been like a good girl PSA. And also, my mom caught me sexting. I know this was a bit of a clickbait, but I really couldn't think of a better title for this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it regardless. I tried to keep this short because all of my videos have been fairly long at this point, and I just wanted to keep something short and wholesome about my gaping flesh finger wound. Until coronavirus is over and all this craziness in the world, until it's all over, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and let's keep rocking. Bye.